Now let's go to word problems. The question says a basketball court has a width of 15 meters. You can take out your student book and go along as we solve the questions. A basketball court has a width of 15 meters and the perimeter is 110 meters. What is the length? Now we have been given the perimeter. We have also been given the width, but they did not tell us the length. And remember, the perimeter is adding all the sides, the width plus length plus length. That is how they got the perimeter. But they gave us width plus width. They didn't give us length plus length. Now we have to find length plus length. So let's put a line across. On the football field, the white line you see is the length that we do not know. Okay? Now, let's also put a line across for the width which we were given, and the width is 15 meters. Now, what next do we have to do? We know that this width, 15 meters, is the same as the other side of the basketball courts. We have 15 here and 15 at the opposite side. The total size of this basketball court is 110. So that means to find the length of this side and that side, we have to add 15 with 15 on the other side. Then we subtract from the total size which was given to us as 110. With that, we will be able to know the length. Easy, right? Okay. Now let's go ahead. Now the perimeter, like we said, is length plus width plus width. We don't know the length, but we know the width. So let's add the width together. 15 plus 15, it's 30. Our perimeter is 110. So what do we now do to be able to find the length? We have two lengths we don't know. So we simply subtract 30 from 110. Then we will be able to know what the length is. So let us subtract. 110 minus 30 is... Great job. It's 80. So it means our length is 80. But don't be too fast. Remember, the length is 2. Okay? So we have to divide into 2 so that we can give this left side and the other right side. Each of them will have their own length. So let's divide 80 into 2 and share it between the two lengths. 80 divided by 2 is... Great job, is 40. So because we have two sides, we have divided, and the length of the football court is 40 meters. So where you see the L on the picture of the football court will be replaced with 40 on this side and the other side where you have the street lights, okay? Or maybe the football field light, the basketball court light, or anyone you want to call it. So now we've found the length. Now, the second question says, a square sheet of metal has an area of 64 centimeters square. It says, find the perimeter. It has given us the area and it is asking to find the perimeter. To find the perimeter, we need to know at least one side because perimeter is side plus side plus side plus side, or side times 4. Now what do we do to find the perimeter? First, we need to know the side. How do we get the side? Let us look at the area again. We were given 64 centimeters square. How do we find the area of a square? Remember, side times 4. Okay, Now they've given, oh, pardon me, side times side, not side times 4. Perimeter is side times 4. Area is side times side. So, what two numbers did they multiply together to give 64 centimeters square? It means the number must be the same, okay? Because it is area. For a square, the two numbers must be the same, side times side. So let's find out. How did they get 64? Let's multiply by starting from 1. 1 times 1 is 1. It's not up to 64. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 4 is 16. It's not up to 64. 5 times 5 is 25. We still don't know it. 6 times 6 is 36. No, it can't be. 7 times 7 is 49. It cannot be 7. 8 times 8 is 64. Yes, it must be 8. It must be 8 because 8 times 8 is 64. And so they must have found the area by multiplying 8 times 8 to have 64 centimeters square. Good. Now we have our side. The side is what? 8. 8 centimeter. Good job. Now that we know the side, can we find the perimeter? How do we find the perimeter of a square? Do you still remember? The perimeter of a square is is side times 4. So let's find the perimeter. The side now is 8. So let's multiply 8 by 4. Or you might want to say 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8. What's the answer? 32 centimeter, not square centimeter. Centimeter, because this is perimeter. Okay? All right, students, let's see. A swimming pool has the length of 40 meters. Now look at the swimming pool right here. It is long. And how long is 40 meters? Now the width, that's how wide, is half of the length. Now they did not tell us the width. They didn't tell us the width. They only gave us the length. How do we find the width? A swimming pool has the length of 40 meters. But look, they told us something. Width is half of the length. Oh, so if the length is 40, that means the width should be what? Half of 40. All right, that's one of the things we need to find. Second thing we need to find is the perimeter of the pool. After we find the width, it will be easy to find the perimeter because we will just add width plus length plus length. And finally, we will find the area of the pool by multiplying the length and the breadth, or the length and the width. Now let's look at the length of the pool. That arrow you see on the picture of the pool, the black arrow, measures the length. That part is 40 meters. Now, the width, this second arrow, they said to us that it is half of the length. So let's find the width. How do we find it? Half of the length, which is 40, is what? Great job. Is 20. 40 divided by 2 is 20. So now we know that the length of this pool is 40 meter, and we now know the width is 20 meter as well, because it's half of the length, right? Good. Now that we know the width of our pool and the length of our pool, the question says find the perimeter of the pool. So look at the length again. 40 meter on the right, 40 meter on the left. And then the width, 20 meter up at the top there where the trees are towards that side, and 20 meters just where the arrow is, close to where the chairs are here. So now we know we have 40, 40, 20, 20. Can we now find the perimeter by adding all the sides together? Sure, we can. Or we can say 40 times 2 plus 20 times 2. So let's do it. 40 times 2 is 80, and 20 times 2 is 40. Or if you want, you can do 40 plus 40 plus 20 plus 20. And what's our answer? 120. The perimeter of the pool is 120 meters. Now let's find the area of the pool. The area. Remember to find the area of a shape like this. This is not a square. If it was a square, it will be side times side. But this is a rectangular pool. So how do we find the area? Length times width. Now, what is our length? Do you remember our length? Sure, our length is 40 meters. And do you remember our width too? Yes, the width is 20 meters. Now, let's multiply 40, that is the length, by 20, which is the width. 40 times 20 is what? Great job. 40 times 20 is 800. So what is the length of the pool? 800 meters square. That is the length of the pool. This also was quite easy, right? Good job.